What's up, YouTube? It's Joel of D-Teams Exo giving you another deck profile. This one is another one of my personal favorites. It's Gravekeepers. So, let's get into the deck profile. So, starting off, I, of course, used the 3 Gravekeeper Spy. Gravekeeper Spy starts everything in the deck. It makes every combo you'll ever come up with, and honestly, if you don't have Gravekeeper Spy, there's no point in running this deck. Like, you can do recruiterless Gravekeepers, but you can't do Spyless. That'd be the stupidest thing ever. After the 3 Spy, I use 3 Gravekeepers Commandant. I've seen people use 2 of these, but I don't know why they would do that. This basically means there are 6 necrovalleys in the deck, and that's not a bad thing. And with necrovalley on the field, this is a 2100 beater, so that, again, makes options really good. Then I use Gravekeeper's Descendant. This, again, this stuns your opponent. One thing about Gravekeepers is they stall and stun, and this is another good aspect of it. Basically, you can pop your opponent's cards, and so Descendant is really good, and I don't know why you wouldn't run anything less than 3, in my opinion. So that's it for the 3 ofs. Next up, for the 2 ofs, I use 2 Recruiter. Recruiter makes the deck playable now. Before, it wasn't really that playable. Like, Spy was okay, but you need to have Spy and Recruiter to make it playable, so I use 2, not 3. I feel like 3 is cloggy, but, that's just me. Next up, I use 2 Gravekeeper's Nobleman. This card just came out, and it's one of my favorite cards in the deck. It's a great stall card, and honestly, it's great because you can honestly set Nobleman, go Spy, set Spy, go Nobleman, and then just keep looping over and over until you run out of targets for it. So, in my opinion, it's one of the better cards that help further this deck. And then I use 2 Assailant because it helps get over stuff like Ophion, Wake, which, I mean, why would you want to get over them? But point being, it helps get over Boojins, anything like that. So that's for the 2 ofs. That's it for the 2 ofs, I should say. So for the 1 ofs, I use Heretic and Shaman. I use Heretic because it gets around Mirror Force, it gets around anything like that, it gets around Swords of Revealing Light, which is a cool fun fact, by the way. And Shaman, I'll explain what she does later, because there's a pretty groovy combo with her that you can do, so these 2. Next, for the spells, I use 3 Necrovalley. Necrovalley stuns your opponent. It makes them have to tiptoe around you, and in my opinion, that's really cool. Then use Royal Tribute, because first turn Royal Tribute is awesome, but just make sure that you're not playing Dark World first. I don't know how you would do that, but don't Royal Tribute Dark World. Just friendly advice. That's a bad thing. Then I use 2 Gravekeeper Steel, because late game, this is amazing. It lets you get back your spies and just search more and all that kind of fun stuff. So I use Dark Hole, double Pot of Duality. I mean, I don't really need to explain the Pot of Duality. 3 MST. So honestly, all of these are great because you can just set them, and like your opponent will think they're traps. Like, this deck is a nice psych deck. You have to set everything and make your opponent scared to play. So now on to the traps. I use double Mirror Force, 1 Rite of Spirit, 1 Compulse, double Fiendish Chain, 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Starlight. People say that this isn't good anymore because of Heavy Storm being gone, but 1 card, Judgment Dragon, Torrential Tribute, and 7 Tools of the Bandit. So that's it for the main deck. I like it. I don't use Imperial Tombs. I don't like that card at all. In my opinion, that is an awful card, because a lot of the times you'll get that card, you'll get Necrovalley, but you'll have Spy, and you want to set Spy, and it'll almost make you feel like you're being forced to summon it. I'm just not a fan of it, and I don't like keeping it in my hand because I could draw so many other better things than that. And I've seen people use it as 3, and I just don't see how they could do that. Now for the extra, I use 3 rank 3s. I use Tempo, number 20, and Zen Mains. The only level 3s I use in the deck are Nobleman and Recruiter, but I feel like that's enough of a reason to use the rank 3s. So I like them, and they're my favorite of the rank 3s that I feel like they need to be used. Then for the rank 4s, I use Master Key Beetle because there's a lock with this that makes everything fun. So I use double cowboy because I feel like one effect each of cowboy is enough per game. Like, you can do the burn, and then you can do the do the attack one, get over problem monsters, that type of thing. That's why I feel like you should use 2. Popple Operative, Nightmare, Gemnite Pearl, Utopia, and Utopia Ray. I've had this card since Dino Rabbit format, and quite frankly, any deck I use Utopia in that I have room, I just feel like I need to use Utopia Ray in it. This extra deck is very lenient. You can use whatever you want. It's insanely versatile, and you have so much room. 1 Maestroke, 1 Number 69, 185, and 1 Stardust with Starlight Road. So that's it for the extra deck. Now, as for the combo I was talking about, you need to have at least 1 necrovalley in hand, a set spy, and a level 4 in your hand. So, if you want to flip the spy up, special shaman in defense mode. Activate necrovalley, normal assailant. Use spy and assailant, going for the key beetle. Whoops. And then you detach key beetle, targeting shaman, shaman targeting necrovalley. Shaman's effect kicks in. Basically your opponent cannot target or destroy any field spells. They can't play field spells. And she negates all graveyard effects, and she gains 200 defense for every Gravekeeper in the graveyard. So by the end of the game, she turns into a big booty bitch, which is great. So that way she's protected at all times, and you get off your combos. And next turn, Phoenix Chain, play Key Beetle's effect again. It's nice. I feel like Key Beetle makes the deck really fun and better because it makes your opponent really have to think and work around it. So, but that's it for the deck profile, guys. I appreciate you watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. And Joel out.